Estoy seguro que te you see me today, right?
Yes, I do. It looks
What's
good.
in today? What's your name today?
And what is that? Is that like the gel?
Yeah, I got some gel in there.
Okay, I'm going to look for it.
Because I have to wash my hair.
That's what I did.
But that stuff does work.
I'm going to get some.
Yeah.
I'll have to, because you see my hair. I washed it, I put grease in it, I put some cream in it. And you see how it is.
The thing
So
is,
that's
one back home.
at the moment, we want to give her a chance to sort of pop this off. I want to thank everybody for being out here today. Thank you for standing up for yourself. Thank you for standing up for in this strike against UIC. I'm the Executive Vice President, and I want to turn it over to my co-host for today's show.
Hi, UIC, remember me? That's how we show up for the INA. SEIU Local! My name is Bree Anderson. I'll be co-hosting this event. I am from the emergency room here. Hi, we don't represent today.
You know, she has a 360-degree view of healthcare and what's happening at UIC. She's a registered nurse, and she's cared for the sick and the infirm, and she knows what it's like to be on the front lines of healthcare. She's a mother. She's a registered nurse. She's a leader for over 30,000 workers here in the state of Illinois and Northwest Indiana. She is my president. She is our president. She's our leader. Give it up for Diane Palmer!
question. Thank you.
No, you're
We'll have
welcome.
to change numbers because
Okay.
Today,
that's
I see
a-
on
that's a-
display all of your love
Okay.
for your work, your love for your city, Chicago, and your love for the work that you do around taking care of University of Illinois, Chicago. UIC strikers are coming together across racial barriers. We're coming together across jobs, and we're coming together across unions, SEIU and INA. So whether you're cleaning the student center or campus, or processing patient paperwork at a clinic, or administering therapy to a hospital patient with COVID, you're essential. And you're going to win the strike because your unity and resolve is evident. So to all the strikers, I want you to know that you're doing the right thing, that you're standing up for yourselves, that we're not going to take this anymore. We are going to have UIC see that we're very concentrated on what we do. We're not going to make promises that we can't keep. We said that if we didn't get a fair contract, we would shut it down, and you're proving that right now by you all being out here. Clear to UIC that you are demanding personal protective more staffing on the job. You're making it clear that you deserve more pay. So we're standing out here together with INA united to make sure that everybody knows that we're not just going to talk the talk, we're going to walk the walk. You know, we're going to make it clear that UIC can hold up healthcare workers as heroes while holding fast to policies that threaten the safety, our safety, and the safety of our patients. So, to all of you that are striking, congratulations. You entered a new era of work. That you have to stand up for your patients, and you have to stand up for yourself as well. To our elected leaders, we're taking notes. We're writing down names. We're paying attention. For those that stand with us, we will stand with you in November. We appreciate you so much. We're going to make Chicago and Illinois a better state. We're going to do that together. We're going to do that across unions, across races, where we show people that it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, where you're from, or what your zip code is, that you deserve a better life. We're standing up. We're not scared of you no more. We're going to stand up to you, and we're going to say we deserve a better life. It's not just for the 1%, it's for all of you, no matter what your job is. So I want to say to you, I'm proud of you. We'll be out here for as long as it takes to make sure that UIC does the right thing, and we're going to make sure that we have a fair contract. So
over 3,500 members. Little lady, but a lot of fun. You have seen her walking the streets up and down, leading the marches, on the news, demanding safe, patient living for us all. I want to be more like her next year. So we all got to be like our president, the leader of our INA union, is Doris Campbell. demand from administration our rights to be protected with PPE in this hospital. We want them to get the PPE we deserve and to protect our patients. So please, don't give up. We are going to be here. And when we end, but before we end, I really predict that the governor is going to come through. He is a board of trustee member at the University of Illinois. He told me 3 years ago that he wanted safe patient
yourself and talk. great honor and privilege to introduce the president of the Alliance for Racial and Social Repression. Let's give it up for my brother, Frank!
Some years ago.
Wow.
And so, good to hear you saying it. I'm going to start off on that again. Fire up! Fire up! Fire up! Fire up! Because it's the first strike of 2020 in the healthcare industry that's demanding rights for workers. The first strike. Don't make me a hero to make me a martyr. That's what they've been doing. They say you're the guest workers. You're the first line of defense. Goddamn it in prison. Hesitate. Hey you. Okay? Do you want to get paid? Yeah. They're going to give us money. We got to take it. That's what a strike is about. It's about making demands. We ain't asking you for better working conditions. We're demanding it. We're demanding it. So we're here united with you. I'm representing Chicago Alliance Association for the Profession. Because when the community and workers strike, we don't have to do it. We can demand.
Step-down unit. This nurse was unfortunately diagnosed with COVID twice, caring for his patients. He is a superstar. He is Superman because he's already back at work twice. I'd like to introduce to you Mr. David Ortiz.
She still hasn't shown up. Who showed up? We did! You fought it! We did! Shelly has been nowhere to be seen. We're still looking for her today. We put on an IVP to see if anybody can find her. So if anybody's seen her, please let us know. Where is Shelly Adrian? When COVID-19 pulled up to our doorsteps, the nurses were there. The staff was there. SEIU was there. We held that hospital up. Now the hospital's trying to hold it up with agency. How many incidents have we already had with agency? Yesterday a patient almost died on my unit. An agency nurse was assigned to this patient. She came in at 7 p.m. At 8:40 she still hadn't seen the patient. If it wasn't for us walking in that room, that lady wouldn't be here today.
crazy that I have to go through obstacles just to get a decent pay. I'm stepping up now with no pay because I know with my fighting now, it will pay in the long run. But most importantly, I worry about my brothers and sisters who don't have the proper PPE. And every day we risk bringing COVID back to our families. At the College of Dentistry, as a union steward, I am the first contact person when it comes to problems at work. I've heard so many stories from you about how UIC disrespects you and the important work we all do. Like, listen to this. When a member reaches out and says management is not paying them their COVID pay rate, even after they agree to. Oh! Or management changed many hours with no notice and not even having to arrange childcare because they changed your schedule. Or I'm working overtime, but I'm not receiving overtime pay. Oh, and get this one. When payroll makes a mistake in your paycheck and overpaid you, and they come back several years later, and they say now you have to pay thousands of dollars back to UIC because of their mistake and their neglect. Enough is enough. We need to show the administrations that we are stronger together. This is our time to fight for the pay increase that we deserve. We are essential to UIC, not disposable. All of us have a reason to be here, and all of us know that only way for UIC will take us seriously is if we shut things down. Shut things down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Some of us have been without contracts for a whole year now, and that's unacceptable. We have gathered here today because we are fed up with management inactions. They think they intimidate us or scare us into submissions. Absolutely not. We are not going to come back stronger. We're coming back stronger and more united. To my SEIU Local 73 brothers and sisters, let's rise up for justice. Let's rise up for the livelihood and safety of our family and communities. Let's win this fight. I'm going to introduce you to my coworker, Lisette. She's going to translate some things in Spanish.
Buenos días, yo trabajo en el colegio dental. La razón que estamos aquí hoy, todos unidos, haciendo este sacrificio tan grande de estar aquí sin paga, es porque necesitamos y queremos un contrato justo y condiciones sanas para todos poder trabajar y servir a nuestra comunidad. Gracias.
Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede.
beautiful. Let's go, y'all. She was amazing when she was closing their contract deal, so I'm so happy she came to our rally a couple days ago, so I'm honored to see her again. Let's do a chant, guys. I want to get the crowd more, involved, right? SEIU, you want a fair contract, you have to do what you got to do. So we're going to do SEIU, do what you got to do. 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 We support you guys. I just want you to know we have to stand together. I know that it's a tough road, but I believe we will be victorious, okay? We can't lose momentum. We have to be out here on these picket lines every day, all day, okay? Okay. SEIU strong is what he said. You guys are representing. I didn't even have a place to park, so thank you. Okay, our next speaker is one of our own. Her name is Janelle Pagaligan. Okay. She's from 6 West Step Down. She's a valued INA member.
Hello. My name is Janelle Pagaligan, and I'm a nurse only 2 years old to this profession, born out of 6 West Step Down. I am surrounded, trained, and guided by nurses who have been nurses longer than I have been alive. And yet lately, I felt like a subpar nurse. Because more often than not, every single night, I have 3 complete patients. One of them is deteriorating. All of them are incontinent, and I have an admission on the way. Every single shift, I seem to barely make it, and that is not solely on me. Me and all my coworkers give our all, but we are working with even less staffing than we were promised, with both RRT patients who are already borderline ICU. We're more than capable of doing our job, but only with adequate resources and support. And that's what we're asking of management. I'm training less than 2 years into my career because I want to make it to 30 years. And I want to be proud of where I work and the patient care that I'm able to give, but UIH is making that impossible. So I implore them to come out and negotiate a fair and just contract. And if not, then work the floor and do the job that they make impossible to carry out.
Longer than I care to count. But it's people like our next speaker that give me hope. It's people like our next speaker that give me hope for the future. So let's give it up for my sister from Black Lives Matter, Miss Anika Tendaji.
Considered pretty young, this fight feels pretty old, right? It feels like something that we have been through for a long time, that Black people particularly, Latinx people, and Filipino people have been kicked around in this country for a long ass time, right? We have been, by the ruling class, divided again and again and pitted against each other, and so that we would never unite and fight back, right? Y'all deserve PPE. This fight is for your very lives, for your dignity, and for future generations. It is ridiculous that in 2020, people are not being paid minimum wage, which is not even a living wage. Anybody on this campus, anybody in Chicago, and anybody in this country should be embarrassed by that. Anybody that then does not look at this crowd and see how many Black people
people there is and feel like, ooh, that looks a lot like Reconstruction and sharecropping and we ought to be fucking embarrassed, should feel terrible. So I'm here from Black Lives Matter to stand with y'all, to fight with you. You are fighting for your dignity and we are here with you, and we're not going to stop until you get what you need.
When I say who's got the power, you say we got the power. I'm going to say what kind of power, you say union power. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who's got the power? We got the power. Our next speaker is a teacher, an educator, a dedicated farmer, an organizer, a county commissioner of the 1st District, a fighter for social and economic justice. You can hear his radio show every Sunday on WCPT 820 AM at 9 AM. Let's give it up for a fighter in the struggle, my man, Commissioner Brandon Johnson.
People in jail, you can find $15 to make sure that black and brown people can support their families. It's an affront to this economy when we spend more money on incarceration and policing than we do making sure that healthcare is a human right. That's a failed system. Young boys and girls, when they find more money to put police inside schools, but they can't make sure that their families have food on the table, that's a corrupt system. But here's the good news. That system is being met and challenged by black and brown and white folks from the south side to the north side, from the east side throughout Cook County, that we are saying with an emphatic voice that Black Lives Matter. There is no justice for workers until those families and the neighborhoods are made whole. Again, my name is Brandon Johnson, Cook County Commissioner of the 1st District. You have my complete support. Do not let up until every demand is met. Sing a song. No, I'm just playing, but can you say something after me, though? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Workers matter. Workers matter. UIC. UIC. Pay up. Pay up. UIC. UIC. Pay up. Pay up. God bless you, Chicago. Let's get a good contract.
Okay, we're running behind on time because we have a lot of speakers, so I'm trying to go kind of fast. Our next speaker is Alderman of the 47th Ward. We're honored to have him here representing us and standing up for us. He is strong on police reform, and if you know me, you know I am all for the police reform. If you know me personally, that's all I talk about. And also for fair housing. He's trying to better our environment by making everyone and everything in this area equal, okay? So let's show some love for Matt Martin.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. 73 INA. Look, we've been struggling for about 6 months here. I mean, certainly longer than that, but we're really feeling it. We've lost jobs, too many jobs. People lost too many homes, and we've lost too many lives. But I know that the folks out here, been working tirelessly to make sure that you're keeping people safe, you're keeping people alive. And I think it's about time for government to pay forward, don't you? That's right. That's right. Because when I look out, I know you were talking about earlier, we were talking about housing justice, that's racial justice. And we're talking about police reform and reform to our criminal justice system, that is racial justice. And when we're talking about healthcare justice, that's racial justice too. So when we're thinking about why we're here, why I'm here supporting you, why we're all here together, we know that we need a living wage, right? We need to make sure we stay in our homes because that rent is coming due, that mortgage is coming due. We need to make sure that we're supporting you with what you're asking. We need to make sure that when you say we want a workplace that values the lives of brown people, black people, LGBTQ people, those aren't just empty words that we're going to do something about that. And with regard to PPE, okay, you're making sure that you're keeping us safe, you're keeping our grandmothers and our grandfathers safe, our aunts and our uncles safe. We need to pay it forward to you. So we're here to support you with your fight, because when we fight, we win. We fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So next we have